Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today I've managed to find something that's quite rare, and it is the Dutch additional cold weather modular ration. Now this is like the US more pack that they give to the troops for extra calories, but this one is for the Dutch ration. I haven't seen one of these before, so it's going to be interesting to find out what's in this pack. So let's get this on a table and see what this pack contains. So as you can see, I now have this additional cold weather module for the Dutch 24-hour ration. Now this effectively is a little pack of accessories to increase the calorific value during cold weather of their 24-hour. And just for comparison, I do actually have a Dutch 24-hour pack. Now as you can see, there is quite a substantial difference. There is a lot of food already packed in the Dutch 24-hour ration. An indication, if I just turn this around, you can sort of get an indication of the amount of food in the 24-hour. But in the cold weather, you still require a little bit more calories to keep you warm. So this is a very rare and very unusual to be seen additional cold weather module. Now it's very similar, I said, to what the US do with theirs, but they have a more pack and this is a US more. This particular one is a hot weather one where this is a cold, but the idea is the same. It's just to increase the calories of their standard ration in times of extra heat or cold. So what do we actually get in the Dutch additional cold weather module? Well, let's have a look. We have a nice Ziploc bag, just like in the huge 24-hour original, and we'll just take everything out and see what we actually get. So just like the main, we do have a list of contents. I'll just put that to one side, and straight off the top it looks like we have 2 packets of cheese spread. So 2 little cheese spreads, nice individually wrapped. We have a bouillon or a soup cube or soup drink. There is an Earl Grey tea. We have a fruit and nut nugget or nougat. There is a coffee creamer. Let's have a look what else there is. There is 1 coffee creamer, 2 sugars. There is the coffee, a bar of chocolate, and a pack of apricot and apple flakes, dried apricot and apple flakes. So, not a lot, but bearing in mind this is just an addition to the main high calorific 24-hour ration pack, there's plenty to be going on with. So, let's get this on a tray and see what they look and taste like. As you can see, I now have everything laid out on the tray, and for today, if anything needs a little bit of assistance, I shall be using my old knife, which I've been using right from the start of my reviews. And also I was searching through my old knife box and I came across my old lucky charm, my good luck charm. Now when I was serving many years ago, there was a saying that somewhere out there there's a bullet with my name on it. So I thought, if I own the bullet with my name on it, and I don't know if you can see my name Mick is actually inscribed on there, then it can't do me any harm. Whether or not this actually worked, I don't know, but it was a nice thought and I'm still here today, so you just never know. But I thought I'd share that with you, something I totally forgot about and just found in my old knife collection. So back on with the review. Now looking at this, the apple and apricot flakes ask for 50 millilitres of hot water, so I'm going to start there and just prepare a little bit of preparation. Now this is take out the oxygenator. This is very reminiscent of something I used to get back in the day in the British Army rations of the 80s. Some dried apple flakes. We used to eat them cold or add them to porridge and things like that. But this one says add about 50 mils of hot water. Now I'm not going to measure that. I'm just going to give that a rough guess. Probably too much there, but as you can see, I should just fold that up and give it 5 minutes to do its thing, and we'll give that a little shake as well to help it on its way. Now while that's doing its thing, I think we'll make up the coffee. We do have a coffee, a creamer and a sugar. So I'll go straight away and make that just how I like it. Oh, now that's not a good start. I don't know if you can see there, the coffee has seen better days. Bit of damp has got to it, but we'll carry on and see if it actually makes a cup of coffee. One thing I didn't notice is how old this ration is. I didn't check the date, but everything else seems okay. So we'll just give that a little bit of water, and I'll bring in the trusty MRE spoon. Again, there is no cutlery with this set. I believe the Dutch Army carry their own knife, fork, spoon, pretty much how the British do. Now it's taken a little bit of dissolving, so I don't know if that coffee's good or not. Give that spoon a bit of a clean off. It seems to have stuck to the spoon quite badly, so that coffee's probably gone past its best. We also have a tea, so we shall give that. Pouring it in there thinking it was a powder tea, but it's actually a tea bag. And again, sugar. Obviously this is a cold weather pack, so there's an extra 3 hot drinks including the bouillon. Now I do apologise if you can hear my noisy neighbours who have decided to go and cut the grass. And I've just realised I need to do a quick exchange for my glass for another cup. There is something stuck in the bottom there. And in that one I'm going to make up the bouillon, the beef bouillon. Okay, and we'll just top that off to about half a mug. Obviously you can add as much or as little as you like. Rinse. We'll have a look at the nut and fruit nugget bar. That's quite sticky. I have no idea of the age. I've not found anything that indicates. That might be a date code there. If you can see, it's probably a 2017, so it has expired, but we'll go with it and see how it goes. That's very sticky. I'm just going to peel that down and leave the wrapper on, take a bite from the wrapper. Got some chocolate. There's a little bit of bloom in there, but not too bad. And last but not least, we have 2 of the cheese. So I'm going to just open one So now they are both identical, so I'll just put one open. Now that looks okay. Doesn't smell untoward, so it's probably still pretty good. So one thing I do notice for that cheese, there is no crackers, but in the Dutch 24-hour they have biscuits brown, very similar to the British. So I'm assuming you meant to put it on your biscuits brown. I just have some store-bought crackers that we have here in the UK. These ones are particularly nice, they're mixed seed. And I thought, why not use one of those? So these are just little packs, handy packs, and they contain 4 crackers. Not military, just happen to be around. So I should put those to one side so I can test the cheese. So let's have a look. Where shall we start? Let's have a start with this coffee. Nice dark roast. Was a little bit compromised. Was a little bit damaged from some damp. Smells okay. Now that tastes a little bit bitter, a little bit rancid. It was a strong roast, a dark roast. I'm not going to drink any more of that. I'm convinced that I've seen better days. It doesn't taste good. Behind the rancidness, you can taste a strong, rich roast, and I think that would have been a very decent cup of coffee had it not been compromised. Now we'll have a look at the tea. Let me just take that tea bag out and quickly drop it in the bin. We have some tea. All tea should be stirred, so let's give it justice. Let's stir it. We'll try the tea. Nice, quite fruity. There's a quite fruity flavour to the back of that, almost like a herbal tea. Again, I think would help with a little bit of milk or creamer. Perhaps if I put the creamer in the tea instead of wasting it on the coffee. But it's a nice, slightly fruit flavoured, almost herbal tea. Very drinkable, very palatable. Very warming on a cold night, which is exactly what it's meant to be. Now we'll have a look at the bouillon. There is little herbs floating in there. Beef bouillon, I think. Very salty, very beefy, typical beefy gravy style drink, like an OXO cube that we have here in the UK. And I know in the US they have bouillon cubes. Very, very similar, a beef bouillon that most people I think are familiar with. But it's a very nice, comforting, warming drink. So, I think the main portion of this would be the cheese and crackers. So I'm not going to spend too much time looking at the crackers because they're not military or from this part. And I have here a Polish knife from their knife, fork, spoon sets. And we'll just have a look at some of this cheese spread. So I'll give it a stir. It looks like it's slightly separated. Very soft, very creamy. And we'll wipe a little bit of that on the cracker and also try a little bit of it on its own first. Nothing wrong with that. So I'll have a taste of it on the cracker. Very nice cheese spread. Nice, creamy, cheesy. We have Dairyly, which is a brand cheese spread here in the UK, and it tastes exactly like Dairyly cheese spread. I don't know if they do Dairyly in the US, but it is a cheddar style cream cheese, very good quality, very tasty. Very nice, very tasty cheese. Okay, let's have a look at these apple flakes. This apple and apricot. Like I say, very reminiscent of what I remember when I was serving back in the 80s, early 90s. The earlier 81s had apple flakes. The British ORP ones. Difficult to get them out. They have rehydrated. As I say, I think you can eat them dry, but it did say add 50 ml of hot water. Remember, cold climate, I think everything's meant to be hot. Use some extra heat. Let's have a taste of those apples. That is reconstituted very nicely. It does taste just like shaved fresh apple. So I'll try a piece of the apricot. The apricot is likewise shaved pieces of apple and apricot, reconstituted very well. It does almost taste like a warm apple pie. No other flavouring. Slightly sweet. Most of the sweetness comes from the apricot. Very, very natural. Very, very tasty. Reconstituted nicely. Very nice addition. I think I'm going to go for the tea to refresh my palate. The coffee, as I say, unfortunately has gone past its best. Nice fruity flavoured tea. We'll have a look at this nugget or nougat. It's gone a little bit sticky. If it is 2017, it's a couple of years past its best, so I might explain why. No strange smell, you often get with the French. Nice, chewy, smooth nougat, no crystalline sugar, nice crispy nuts in there, not gone rancid, very nice, tasty nugget bar. And last but not least, the chocolate, 40 grams. Snaps nice and easily, not bloomed too much. Let me see, crunchy, firm chocolate, high cocoa content, but relatively high sugar content also, so it doesn't get that normal bitterness you associate with a high cocoa content chocolate because the sugar is compensating it. Soon melts into your tongue, coats your mouth with melted chocolate. Very, very decent. If my coffee was good, I'll be tempted to drop those few cubes in my coffee, make a chocolate mocha, but I'm not going to waste this. It's a very nice chocolate and it'd be a shame to waste it in a sour coffee. So, brief recap. The coffee, behind the rancid taste, you can tell it was a strong, dark, deep roast coffee. Would have been very good. Unfortunately, this got a little bit damp and a little bit of the old coffee mould. Undrinkable now, but would have been in its prime a nice cup of coffee. The tea, nice dark black tea, plenty of flavour, has a almost herbal fruity flavour back tone to it, which is nice when you haven't got the milk. It just gives it a little bit of extra interest. Also has a slightly fruity smell, aroma when you smell it. Very nice tea. The bouillon is just that, it's beef bouillon, it's OXO, very much like the US bouillon cubes, I'm sure. In a drink form on a cold night, an extra warming, comforting addition. Cheese spread, nice, soft, creamy, very, very reminiscent of a store-bought Dairy cheese spread we have here in the UK, and that is a quality, decent, good brand. So for my UK viewers will understand, this is a high quality cheese spread, nice, soft, cheddary, creamy, lovely condition. The nugget, very similar to the UK style nugget, They haven't got that strange smell that the French one has. It's smooth, the nuts are still good. You wouldn't know it's a couple of years past its best. A very nice, tasty English style, although this is Dutch, it's very much like the English nugget we have here in the UK. Apricot and apple flakes, reconstituted nicely, not overladen with sugar, very natural sweetness coming from the apricot in with the apple. It does actually feel like you're now eating shaven fresh apple instead of dried, freeze-dried. Very nice, extra warming bit of fruit. And the chocolate, decent, good quality, high in sugar content, not in a negative way. It sort of takes away the bitterness from the high level of cocoa, making it a good all-round sweet, tasty chocolate bar. So I'm going to leave it there. That was the contents of the additional cold weather modular pack to go with the Dutch 24-hour. Something I've not seen before, something quite rare, and something very nice to get hold of and try. So, thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button for future videos coming very soon. So thank you, and goodbye.